Of that man. His name was Robert Griffey, born in July of 1999. He would have been 17 years old this year. Police have been speaking with family for the past few hours. They're still there right now, along with a family victims advocate. Police say family just devastated this afternoon to learn about the crash that happened at 10:30 last night. The victim, again, turning 17 years old this year. He had just moved to the Port St. Lucie area from Fort Lauderdale, wasn't enrolled in the school system here yet. His mother told police he left the house around 9:30 for McDonald's.
A family relative, a brother actually, who lives at the house, was able to tell us that, yeah, his brother was missing, never came home last night, and so that's how we were able to connect the dots.
The nearest McDonald's in this area is about a mile away from where Robert Griffey lives, and that is at the corner of Apricot Drive. Police say the driver has been cooperating with the investigation. In fact, he called 911 after hitting him near the median last night. Police say there was no indication that that driver was intoxicated. Reporting live in Port St. Lucie, Sonika Dange, WPBF 25 News.
And now to a WPBF 25 News exclusive. New video only we obtained shows the chaos inside a Palm Springs gas station where police say a woman threw coffee onto workers and then took off. Police then went after that woman, who ultimately returned to the same gas station a short time later. Jimmy Johnson joins us live to walk us through this very bizarre story. Jimmy?
Tiffany, it's hard to understand why anyone would waste a fresh cup of coffee.
Okay, we are having problems right now with Jimmy's live shot. We'll try to get that story back for you in just a few minutes. A St. Lucie County teacher accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student is under investigation. The school district says David Ferguson has taught English at Fort Pierce Central High School for the past 5 years. Ferguson is now out of the classroom while the district considers whether he should be fired. A hearing is scheduled for Tuesday. Well, the gorgeous weather continues here in South Florida. Let's take a live look outside and say hello to our viewers in Boca Raton and in Jupiter, who I'm pretty sure, Mike, are enjoying these cooler temperatures. Mike Lyons has more for us on the weekend. And Mike, no pressure, but Sunday is Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. Yes, we're going to make Mom proud because the weather on Saturday and especially Sunday, just about perfect. Although, as we pointed out earlier, it will remain dry and the risk for brush fires remains fairly high this weekend. Temperatures right now in the mid-70s, the low range of the 80s. The key, though, the dry air. Look at the humidity. Right now, just 30% in West Palm Beach. Westerly winds running 14 miles per hour, and the current temperature is 79 degrees. All of this under mostly clear skies with that dry air covering all of South Florida. Got that cutoff low sitting right there over Raleigh, North Carolina, not going anywhere. It continues to pull that dry air from the deep south right into our part of South Florida. So overnight, incredibly cool temperatures for South Florida. Now, bear in mind, our typical low is 68. Here are the projected lows for southern Palm Beach County. Nearly 10 degrees below average. And look around Lake Okeechobee. You're going to wake up to temperatures on Saturday morning in the 40s. You're going to need a jacket at Okeechobee and Bassinger. How about the Gardens? 54, Hobe Sound 53, and the overnight low along the Treasure Coast. Look at this, in the low range of the 50s. Saturday afternoon looks good, and Mother's Day looks fantastic. More about Mom's Day when I'm back with your full 7-day forecast in a couple minutes.
Mike, thank you. A second person has now died following 2 shootings at shopping centers in suburban Washington, D.C. Police now believe the shooter may have also killed a woman outside of Maryland High School yesterday.
Today's 2 shootings happened in Bethesda, Maryland. Anchor Todd McDermott is here with the developing details. Todd.
Police, Tiffany, a short time ago, that suspect, who is a federal police officer, was taken into custody after police rammed his vehicle in a parking lot. The shootings this morning took place within 20 minutes of each other. Police say 4 people in all were shot. A man was killed outside a mall. A woman was killed outside a grocery store. 62-year-old Elio Tordil was arrested not far from where that second shooting happened. And he is now connected to 3 shootings in all and a third death. The shooting scenes are only about 8 miles apart. This is video from the first shooting, right outside the Westfield Montgomery Mall in Bethesda, just north of Washington, D.C. 2 men and 1 woman were shot at that location. All of them were taken to the hospital, where one of those men died. Now, police believe Toradol then drove to another shopping center in the Aspen Hills suburb and fatally shot a woman outside a grocery store. Detectives did not release the names of any of the victims, but they say those people likely did not know the shooter.
We have no reason to believe at this point the victims knew the suspect. We're certainly looking at all angles and certainly ask for the public's help.
And based on witness descriptions, investigators believe today's shootings are connected to a shooting that happened yesterday at a nearby high school. Prince George's County Police identified Toradol as the suspect in the murder of his estranged wife. He is a law enforcement officer with the Federal Protective Service. Protective Service's primary mission is providing security for federal buildings and facilities. But in March, the FPS placed Toradol on administrative leave after his wife apparently was granted a protective order against him. At that time, his on-duty firearm, his badge, and his credentials were taken from him.
Todd, thank you. President Obama covered a wide range of issues during a news conference today at the White House, including the economy and the presidential race. He said Congress should step up to help hardworking Americans.
Congress should raise the minimum wage. This is something that would not only help those individuals who are getting a bigger paycheck, but it also means they're spending more, and that would be a boost to business.
The president also talked about Donald Trump, saying the highest office in the country is not for entertainment and it is not a reality show. He also stopped short of calling Hillary Clinton the presumptive Democratic nominee. Meanwhile, Trump is set to meet next week with House Speaker Paul Ryan.
It comes after Ryan says he is, quote, just not ready to support Trump as the Republican Party nominee. Trump shot back at the speaker on Twitter, saying he is not ready to support Ryan's agenda. We're told this meeting is expected to happen Thursday.
Well, it is the story that has a lot of you talking. Now a resolution could be coming.
Still ahead, what is next for the man who admits to throwing a live alligator into a fast food drive-through window?
Plus, inferno evacuations, the rush going on right now on the ground and in the air to get thousands of people out of danger.
And coming up all new at 5:30, new details tonight about a deadly officer-involved shooting on the Treasure Coast. What we're learning about the dash camera in one of the officer's cars. You're watching WPBF 25 News, always live, local, late breaking.
Well, 2 people had quite the bumpy landing in South Florida today when the landing gear on their small plane collapsed. This happened at the Opa-locka Executive Airport. The Cessna landed just after 1:30 this afternoon. Records show the plane is owned by Endeavor Flight Training, which is based in Opa-locka. No injuries were reported. The FAA is now investigating.
1 million electric kettles are being recalled tonight.
It's a lot of electric kettles. Coming up, where it was sold and the serious issue with this device that has already led to some customers being burned. You're watching WPBF 25 News. We want to update you on the breaking news that we told you at the top of the show of that brush fire burning at least 120 acres near Fort Pierce. That fire is on Indrio Road. It's east of US 1. Here's a live look in the area where the fire is. Right now, there are no homes threatened, but because of rough terrain, a helicopter has been called in to help contain the fire. But officials are telling us that the fire containment lines are holding and things are looking better than, say, an hour ago.
Absolutely, and look at that, the smoke is actually clear too from the distance. Well, the man who admits to throwing a live gator into a Green Acres fast food drive-through window is now closer to learning his punishment.
Joshua James will reportedly plead guilty for his actions. Here's Whitney Burbank.
The attorney for Joshua James was in court this morning, but a judge says the next time they come back in a few weeks, they both have to be there. A Jupiter man accused of throwing a gator through an open window at a Wendy's drive-thru had his attorney show up to court Friday. Judge Barry Cohen's office says Joshua James himself will have to attend the hearing at the end of the month to enter a plea and receive sentencing. James is facing charges for throwing this 3-foot-long reptile into a Wendy's in Royal Palm Beach back in October. The incident report states James pulled up to the drive-thru, placed his order, the server handed over a drink and turned around. That's when authorities say James reached into the back of his truck and tossed the gator through the window. James' attorney said it was a prank during first appearance. Still, the judge ordered James stay away from Wendy's and all animals besides the family pet, pending the outcome of his case. James's next court date is set for May 31st. In West Palm Beach, Whitney Burbank, WPBF 25 News.